Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing relationships as I do my nails. And I am by no means good at doing nails. I literally don't have any of the special things to do, but I don't want to go pay to get a manicure done, and I have these fun little mini gemstones, and I bought my first thing of nail polish because I don't ever wear nail polish. And I'm gonna try to do a fun little manicure. So let's see how it turns out while we chat about the important things in life. The idea of this video actually came as I was watching someone else's video, or it was like a short, and it was about this couple, this YouTuber couple that are no longer together, and I was super surprised to hear that because they were married and it seemed like everything was all good, but we know how social media is, right? You only see what they want you to see. You don't see what's going on behind the scenes. And so yeah, I was watching this reel, and basically there was a comment in the comment section. I screenshotted it. I'm gonna put it right here because it really got me thinking. It started with something like advice from an old guy, and basically talking about love. Like in the comment, he explains how if you feel like you are your partner's best friend, or things like we're so in love, or we have all the same interests, stuff like this, he basically says that those are all cliches and that doesn't determine whether your love is going to last long term. And basically the only thing that truly determines whether your love lasts long term is A, the decision that neither of you are leaving the relationship no matter what, and B, the commitment to understanding that you both are going to change like crazy within the relationship. So as long as you can accept the other person's changes and understand that they're not going to be the same person as they were when you started, those are the only things that determine a relationship built to last. And it just really got me thinking because I am a child of divorce. My husband is a child of separation, and so many people that I know, their parents have gone through divorce. And of course, if you experience divorce, I'm sure that at some point in your mind, you were like, I never want to be like my parents. I never want to divorce. And it really gets you thinking about what makes a relationship last. Seeing this written down was the first time that I realized, whoa, these words were so perfectly summarized into basically what my now husband has taught me throughout our relationship, and the reason why my relationship with my husband is the longest relationship that I've ever had and will continue to have. We're really not taught a lot about life, the school of life. We go to school, we learn math, economics, biology, we learn all the computer systems we need, we learn how to obey, but we don't learn anything really about how to go about life. And life is hard. We're on Earth in this very dense reality, and we experience such heaviness here. And yeah, there's no emphasis on how to get through it. There's no single book that tells you, oh, this is how to go through life. But there are people who have done it and who have failed and who have learned, and those are really the people that we can learn from. So all that to say that when I started the relationship with my husband, I had absolutely no idea how to be in relationship as I am today. And I have to give all thanks to him. I don't know where he learned it from because it doesn't go like this in his family at all. I have no idea where he learned it from, but he basically guided us along those same principles as in the comment that I am referring to. Basically, that we're going to be in relationship, like neither of us will leave this relationship. We're deciding to stay in this relationship no matter how hard life gets. And the one thing that is true is that we are going to change. And that's beautiful because you get to be with a different person over the years. It never gets boring. We are destined to change. It's the only constant in this life. And by witnessing and being there for someone as they go through all of these changes is something so precious and so rare, right? You don't even have that experience in your family, because in your family it's just so easy when someone's pissing you off to just like be like, bye, I'm out of here, like I'm moving across the country, and yeah, just being like, I'm not dealing with this. But you're family, so you're always going to stay together. Whereas a relationship, it's your every single day, it's your experience, you live with them, so you want it to be pleasurable, you want it to be fun, and you love this person too. So there's work required every single day. And coming into relationship, I definitely did not understand this to the depth of the devotion it requires to really show up for your partner, like every single day. And every single day you need to put something into the relationship, like just like being honest. And sometimes putting something into the relationship is getting in touch with what you're feeling and facing your feelings and really feeling them, so that you can be in your most vulnerable, honest self perspective and offer that to your partner, so that they know that, oh, you're grumpy today, not because of them or not because of something they did, but because you're feeling like shame, or you're creating this story in your head. And I am definitely not perfect at doing this, which is why I make these videos, because I fail a lot. Like I fail a lot. And then I learn a better way to do it after I fail. And then I'm like, oh, I would have loved to know this before I, crashed out. So here I am giving it to you. I feel like a lot of us are scared to get into relationship because we feel like it's this really, really big and like daunting, scary like commitment, especially getting married to someone. And in one sense of the word, yes, it is. In another sense of the word, it doesn't have to be scary or daunting or like a big thing that like is there to like punish you. You can make it fun and pleasurable. A skill that is so underrated in relationship is the capacity to be honest and the capacity to be vulnerable. Oftentimes when we get angry because of some sort of situation, it's because there's sadness or there's hurt underneath those words. And I am like the first and foremost to raise my hand, because anger is my most like frequented emotion. I am someone that gets angry very easily. I'm a very fiery person, and I truly believe it's because I'm also very sensitive and I get my feelings hurt easily. And so along the way of life, my subconscious learned that, oh, anger is the way to like basically make up for the fact that your feelings got hurt. You need to make the other person feel bad now. It doesn't work like that in real life. Oftentimes, especially in relationship, if you get angry, it's just you dealing with your shit and you're like fucking angry in the corner, and the other person is like, I didn't do anything wrong, and they're right, they didn't do anything wrong, and you're just fuming in your corner, like having a tantrum, essentially. And yeah, that has been my experience, and basically like learning to reparent yourself and understand that in those moments when you are the most angry, there's hurt somewhere, and there's like misunderstanding. There's a lot of more like gushy, vulnerable feelings underneath that. So if you're able to get in touch with that like underbelly of the gushiness, like the actual like, oh, I'm feeling a lot right now, and you're able to share that to your partner, like that's gold. That is the soil of which a relationship truly blooms, and that is genuine intimacy. The capacity to be seen and heard in your truth in any moment is true intimacy. And that's what like fosters and nurtures trust and connection and love between you and a person. If two people come together and they make the decision that this is the relationship that they make last, and neither of us are going to leave this relationship, like this is our devotion. You are the person I am devoted to now. And I feel like devotion, devoted to, this word is very misconstrued nowadays, and a lot of people have problems with commitment, and they see this as like a bad thing, being devoted to someone, which I'm just gonna say it flat out, they're missing out, because the act of devotion is, you almost feel liberated in doing so. It is like the tuning of a fork. It is the like sharpening of a blade. It's so hard to explain if you haven't truly experienced devoted, but you can be devoted to something else. You can be devoted to a sport. You can be devoted to an animal. You can be devoted to like eating well or keeping care of your own temple, of your own body. So devotion shows up in so many different areas. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, but when you devote yourself to a relationship, again, it's not just the person, it's the relationship. It's this energetic body that you're devoting yourself to. And you say like, I'm showing up, like this is my person, I'm showing up. And it's genuinely cleansing and healing. And of course that container needs to have like certain boundaries or not necessarily boundaries, clarifications of like, how do we show up in this? And your partner also needs to respect the same things that you are for something to work, right? It can't be one-sided. But when it's done, said and done, it's this container in which you can be however you need to be, and that person, you know that person is going to stay no matter what. And that is one of the most healing experiences. It literally healed me of my acne. It healed my husband of his digestive issues. It heals like generations of trauma. And it's something that you can create even with yourself, but with your partner as well. That's specifically what I'm referring to. Okay, and the last thing that I want to leave y'all with is the idea that you do not need to be fully healed before going into relationship. If you like someone and you want to make it exclusive with this person, like go all in, and don't be afraid to like make mistakes, because it's all just learning. There's no other way you're going to learn about how to be in relationship or what you like or what you don't like if you don't try. If you're just waiting for the perfect person, or if you're waiting for yourself to be perfect. I had an ex-boyfriend that clearly told me one time, I don't even know how to love myself, so how can I love you? And in the moment when he told me that, I was like, oh, you're so right. Like, oh boy, how can you love me if you don't love yourself? And there's probably a lot of you that hear that right now, and they're like, yeah, he's right. I beg to differ, and I challenge that belief. I believe that you can come into a relationship not loving yourself, and if it's truly the right person, that person can guide you towards more wholeness and more love towards yourself. And I'm not talking like codependency. I'm not talking like masking problems that are hiding underneath the surface. I'm talking like true, full, embodied, like I love myself because I have seen myself through the eyes of another who loves me genuinely and wholeheartedly. It's possible. And I'm speaking from experience. And I'm not the only person that has had that experience. There are people out there, and if you allow yourself to open your mindset, open your horizons, and allow that to come in, to receive a relationship like that, is gonna come in. So watch out. Okay, I know I said that was the last thing I'm gonna leave you with, but the actual last thing is that you don't have to be perfect. When I got into this relationship with my now husband, I was really big into Tantra and, just being big into Tantra and learning all about, if you don't know what Tantra is, look it up. I'm like not the best to describe it efficiently in just a couple words. It's basically treating everything in your life as the divine and knowing that your sexuality is an innate part of you and it's beautifully divine, and basically how to consciously communicate in relationships. It's really incredible in terms of like a philosophy. And so coming into this relationship with Zach, I said like I don't want a relationship if it's not going to be founded on these principles, and he was super open to that, even though he had no idea what that was before. And so I kind of came into this relationship thinking like, oh, it needs to be perfect, we can't fight, like we have to like always speak to each other in like a calm tone and all this stuff. And then when we would fight, I would like shove a lot of the words down my mouth, and I would like auto-sabotage myself because I would say like, oh, I told myself I wanted to have like this conscious, like elevated, high vibrational relationship. I can't be like yelling or like saying these things to him. Or also there was like lots of insecurities being like, oh, am I too much if I say this or voice my boundary here? And what did it do? It just caused more destruction. All that I pushed down, it would come up. And where does it come up? When you want to have sex, when you want to be intimate with your partner, because your body doesn't feel safe, because you've been holding that shit down, and your body's gonna be like, ew, don't fucking touch me because this isn't resolved. And so clearing through that, oh my God, that needs to be a whole different video, especially for women. But clearing through that is still an ongoing process, because like we learn how to communicate within our family, and a lot of times it's not the most healthy way of communication. So it's still ongoing. Like we're 4.5 years in, and I'm still learning every single day how to like communicate better. But the idea is, no, like we still fight, and honestly, like and I still scream, and I still get really upset, and I still am angry. And in the beginning, I would think that that's bad, and I would feel like so much shame. And actually my husband is like, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to have those emotions. It's how you like express them basically determines whether it's destructive or not. And like he'd always say like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. And like, how, oh my God, I am that, or I was, now I've learned a little bit better. But in the beginning, I would always say like, then just leave. Oh, if I'm whatever, just leave then, like that super immature way of saying like, I like can't really take full responsibility for how I am. I'm feeling lots of shame about how I am. So trying to push you away to prove in my mind that I am too much, that I am this way and nobody's gonna like me. Like it's basically the subconscious saying like I am right in believing that. And then my husband was like, I'm not going anywhere. And it slowly like broke down my walls, being like, oh, okay, I am not my emotions. I've learned, or I have not learned, like I had no structure of understanding how to express my emotions, and every single time I expressed, people leave. People would shut down, people would shame me. And so I learned like emotions are bad. So every single time I would feel emotion, I wouldn't know what to do with it because I just never allowed myself to feel them at first. And him in his presence and being like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. Like, yeah, maybe I'm also, he's like, maybe I'm upset with you and like, it's frustrating that you're like screaming at me. I hate when you scream at me, but I love you still. And like to hear that in the middle of like you screaming like a raging lion, hear someone say, I still love you. It's like, whoa, okay. Maybe I can calm down a little bit. Like, I'm still seen, I'm still heard. I'm rambling, but you get the point. And this whole entire like thought form started from that one comment on a reel that I was looking, or a short that I was looking at on YouTube. So thank you, this commenter, for inspiring this talk. And there's so much more that I could go into on this, like so many little tangents, especially that with like your sexuality as a woman being directly correlated to like how much you allow yourself to express and to feel and to receive. Yeah, that could be a whole nother video, and I probably will make that sometime soon. I just need to find the words and how to express it because I'm also still learning. But yeah, if you've watched all the way through to here, I wish you a beautiful relationship, a beautiful container. I wish that you're open to receiving that, and I know that you can make it happen even if you don't know how to do it. You don't really need to know the roadmap. You just need to have the intention that you want to find a person that you're going to decide that this is it. No matter what it takes, this is it. And yeah, if you want it, it's destined for you. You wouldn't want it if it wasn't at all aligned on your path. That's all I have to say. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Oh, wait, by the way, actually, I'm gonna finish my nails and then I'm just gonna show you what they look like at the end. Okay, finished. Oh. My very amateur nail skills, but okay, bye.